All right, shalom, shalom. First off, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakarkadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, all the men, the women, and the children who follow. So, as you can see, this lesson is aptly entitled Discomfort Causes Growth. Okay, so let's read this excerpt here that we have from Peter McWilliams. He once said that comfort zones are most often expanded through discomfort. And it's like, yeah, the Lord's word is edifying, but comfort zones are most often expanded through discomfort. Okay, discomfort is a catalyst for growth. So we all have a picture in our mind where we would like to be, a level that we dream to obtain one day. But in order to do that, you're going to have to introduce chaos. You're going to have to go above and beyond what you've been doing, or you'd have already been there. Okay? You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable or bringing discomfort. Okay, it says it makes you yearn for something more. It forces you to change, stretch, and adapt. Okay, which change can be scary for some people. Change, change isn't always good, but change can be very good. Okay, when we came into this thing of ours, we had to change our ways. Okay, and in order to grow into that individual that you yearn to be, okay, you have to change some things about you. You may have to change your schedule. You may have to change your outlook on the way you look at things, okay? You have to look in the mirror and scrutinize yourself. Okay? So let's get this word discomfort, because that's what we're talking about, right? Discomfort causes growth. So discomfort, okay, it says misfortune, adversity, okay? Having to go through something, grief, sorrow, discouragement, all right? Meaning the absence of comfort or pleasure, a condition of being uncomfortable, right? So when you're in a place of comfort, there's no need to change or to get better or to make things different. You're good, right? But in that same comfort, okay, you can really lose yourself because you're not going forward. You're stuck in neutral. You're good, right? And that's not a good place to be. We should always be abounding. We should always be wanting to be better. And if you're content, comfort and content are synonymous with each other. If you're content, if you feel like you've done enough, or you feel like you know enough, or you don't have to get any better, okay, then you're in the wrong field. Like I said, we should always be abounding, always growing, always getting better. There's always something that we don't know or another level that we can obtain. And in order to obtain that, you have to get uncomfortable. You may have to do things that you haven't done before, or do things that you do that you may not like to do more. You may have to read more, do more research. Okay? Maybe you have a disability or something holding you back. All right, you may have to go harder. I'll give you an example. David Goggins, he had a learning disability. In order for him to comprehend what he's reading on the pages, he had to read it over and over and over and over, and he had to literally write it down to understand it. But he did what he had to do to fully be able to comprehend what he needed to do to get his goal. He had to get uncomfortable. He had to introduce discomfort into his life to obtain growth. Okay, I'll give another example. Okay, with video games. So let's I got a couple screenshots that I took. All right, it says, why do people like difficult video games? All right, I think the simplest answer as to why gamers like hard games is that they're just rewarding. The sense of reward that comes from finally beating something that initially seems impossible is immense, right? So that's like making it to the mountaintop. When you start at the bottom of that mountain, okay, and you get to going up and you're motivated, and then it becomes hard, or you reach a steep cliff, the oxygen's getting low, you're tired, you're hungry, you're hurt, but you keep moving forward. And then you get to the top of that mountain, man. That feeling is rewarding. When you achieve a goal, when you actually put your mind to something and it's difficult, and you achieve that level or whatever it is, that feeling is indescribable. So that's the same energy we have to have, okay? Because we're we're all human, and when we come in this truth, we all come in at a level. But the goal is not to stay at that level. The goal is to grow. Okay, and I'll bring one more example, and then we're gonna get some scriptures. Um, it says, "Does playing games on the hardest difficulty make you better?" It says playing the game on the harder difficulty modes can lead some can lead to some frustration, right? Naturally, you may not be getting it as quick or picking it up as quick, you know, just like in this truth. You may not be remembering scriptures or remembering breakdowns, and it can seem frustrating. It says, but challenges can be mentally stimulating, and they offer a greater satisfaction when you overcome them. Same thing with the example I just gave. Overcoming at the end is the greater satisfaction. Okay, and obtaining salvation, being protected in the days of trouble, that satisfaction is going to be way greater than anything else that can be given in this life. Okay, it says, so if you find you get the most kick out of a game when things get more challenging, then hard mode is a dealing is a default difficulty setting. Okay, so let's get some scriptures dealing with, of course, discomfort causing growth. This is the NLT. Let me get into KJV first. So this is James 1. I'll start at verse 1. It says, James, a servant of the Most High and of the Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. It says, my brethren, count it at all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience, right? So we're all going to come in to these diverse temptations. We're going to have um, times of difficulty. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and get it in the NLT right now, because it's going to give a little bit more clarity to what it's pointing to. It says, dear brothers and sisters, when trouble comes your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. So don't look at it as, oh, woe is me. Why am I going through this? Why do I have to put up with this? How come I can't just get it? How come you can't get it the easy way, man? Don't look at it like that. Look at it as an opportunity, okay, to show that you're a real one, an opportunity to prove yourself, an opportunity to improve yourself and to grow. It says, for you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow, right? So now you have an opportunity to become more than what you were. You have an opportunity to be that person that you look at down the road and say, "Hey, I want to be that man. Or I want to be that woman. Or I want to be that individual who I see in my dreams, my daydreams, my visions." Everyone has a picture in their mind of the individual that they want to project into the world. And when trouble comes your way, or when a catalyst for change is introduced into your life, hey, it's an opportunity to grow and to become better. So don't fight the opportunity. Okay, if you're getting rebuked, if you're getting uh, someone's telling you something about yourself, don't fight it. Listen, because this is for your growth. Okay, a lot of times people take things personal, opposed to looking at what's actually what someone's actually trying to tell them for their personal growth. It doesn't help that it wouldn't help. For example, it wouldn't help me to tell you, okay, something that's going to help fix you. It helps fix you. But this is something that I can see from the outside looking in that you may not be able to see. So we have to bow our ear. We have to get out our feelings, man, and become teachable, become malleable, become able to be talked to or told to things that are going to help us, like I said, abound. Okay, it says, so let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing. So once you go through the hard times, once you go through the discomfort, you can grow into that individual. Okay? So this is First Peter 4 and yeah, I'll start at verse 12. It says, "Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing has happened unto you. But rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers in Hamashiach's suffering." So you going through your fiery trial, you uh, are basically enduring your cross. Yahweh Shai was what? He was crucified uh, for our sake. He went through his fiery trial. Now we have to go through ours, and we're going to be, as it says, when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. So we're going to be joint heirs. Uh, we're going to be what's the word I'm looking for? Praised with him, not really praised with him. Matter of fact, let me get it in NLT because it just says it a little bit more in plain English. Okay. It says, instead, be very glad, for these trials make you partners with Hamashiach in his suffering, so that you will have the wonderful joy of seeing his glory when it is revealed to all the world. So we're going to be gloried together. That's what I was looking for. We're going to be gloried together, okay, as joint heirs. So go through it now. These are necessary, okay? And ultimately, it's a test for the Most High to really see, do you really want this? It's like I was watching Coach Prime Dion, and he was saying that he had students in the class that were failing. Well, if you're getting a 55 in class, how can I trust you to go on the field and perform for me? If you don't want to perform for yourself, then how can you perform for me? Okay, and the Most High looks at it the same way. If you don't want to do this for you, if you don't want to come up on a level and perform for you, then how can you do it for the Most High? You have to hold yourself to a standard, okay? And then you have to raise the bar because when something becomes too easy, that's when you raise the difficulty. That's when you go from easy to medium, from medium to hard, from hard to that all Madden, from or rookie to vet. All right, you raise the bar continually as it gets easier. That's just like when you're doing push-ups. You can do a regular push-up. There's diamond push-ups. There's one hand push-ups. All dependent on your skill level, the level that you're at. So when you come to this truth, you may only know a few precepts. You may know milk scriptures, but you fight and you learn and you put in the work. You go through the discomfort of learning the scriptures so that you can then graduate into the meat. Okay? This is Zechariah 13. Um, I'll start at verse 8. It says, "And it shall come to pass that in the land, saith the Lord, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third part shall be left therein." Speaking of the 2/3 of Israel, are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who will not, okay, adhere to the Lord's doctrine and will, quite frankly, be cut off and die. Okay, but it says the third shall be left therein. So this next verse, and frankly, I'm speaking to the elect, to this 1/3 who uh, intend to be left therein or are wanting to obtain, okay, and be exempt and exonerated from this judgment. He says that I will bring the third part through the fire and will refine them as silver is refined and will try them as gold is tried. Now that's some discomfort. Fire burns, right? It hurts. It changes, right? It'll take that lump. Matter of fact, let me see if I got the pictures. Bear with me here. Fire will take this, okay, and turn it into this. Fire will take all those impurities. You can see this gold. You can see it's gold. Okay? But there's bullshit in there. That fire gets the bullshit out, and you're left with the pure gold. You're left with uh uh as a matter of fact, let's get the word pure. Pure, unalloyed, unmixed, unadulterated, homogeneous, total, complete, absolute, bare. All right? So complete, whole. You're wholly good at that point. Fire is going to take all of that out. And we have to go through the fire in our life. Okay? You can't cook with cold grease. You have to heat it up. Okay, and in order for you to grow and to be tried, matter of fact, let's get this let's see. And we'll refine them as silver is refined, and we'll try them. We'll try them. Let's see what this says. To examine Strong's H974 Bachan. Okay, it says um, to examine, to try, to prove, to examine, to scrutinize. You got to pick yourself apart, man. Let a man examine himself whether he be in the faith. Okay, you got to look at that man in the mirror and say, "Hey, look, man, I'm failing at this. Okay, I'm behind in this. I need to get better at that." And you need to Scrutinize yourself. Examine yourself. Prove yourself. All right, make that trial. Okay, and then once you know what needs to be changed or what avenues you can get better at, then change can come. But you got to be committed to the change. You can't half-ass or pussyfoot around. When you identify an area that needs to be changed, commit to it. Because as we read, the goal, the payoff in the end is so much greater. This is Romans 5 and verse 3. It says, I'll start at verse 1. It says, therefore, being justified by faith, we have peace with the Most High through our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, by whom we have access by faith into this grace, wherein we stand and rejoice in hope of the glory of the Most High. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations. We glory in tribulations, knowing that tribulations worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience hope. So once you go through those things, once you get into a position of difficulty and discomfort is entered into your life, now you have life experiences. Now you have something that you can draw back on, because you don't always get a second opportunity. Sometimes it's for that moment. Okay, and if you don't measure up, hey, you lost. But what did you gain? You gained experience, so that if you are ever put in this position again, you know how to react. You can then show your growth. You can then show, hey, I fell short, but I've been working on this as a man. I've been working on this as an individual. And the next time my number is called, I'm going to show up and perform. So now you're going to have patience, because, okay, when you're going through the motions, okay, um, everything can seem like it's going fast, okay, and you're moving, right? You're self-willed. You're going from A to B to C to D to E to F to G, but the second time around, and you've been here before, okay, I remember this. Now the game's going a little bit slower, so it's going from A to B, from B to C to D, to D to E, so on and so forth. And you can be more efficient because of, like I said, the experience that you've gained. And then it gives you hope for the future, that you can continue to abound, that you can continue to get better, and that you will reach that mountaintop. Okay, so let me see. This is Ephesians 4. Let me see. I guess I'll start at 12. It says, for the matter of fact, let me start at 11. Start at 11. It says, and he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors, and some teachers, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach. Right? So, and matter of fact, I'm going to jump down to verse 16, because it says, from whom the whole body fitly joined together, right, compacted by that which every joint supplieth. So it's talking about being a body. Okay, so it speaks about apostles and prophets, evangelists, pastors, teachers, so on and so forth, all in a body. These will be like the stabilizing muscles. So I wanted to key in on this. It says the stabilizers are small muscles that help support the body, while primary movers perform the intended movement. These muscles typically remain active for long periods of time, right? So you have, the apostles, you have the elders, you have camp heads, okay, you have second in command. These are the stabilizer muscles within the body. All right, it says that they typically remain active for long periods of time because the burden is more on them, on these offices, right? But it's all for, as I said, the perfecting of the saints. So when you have these apostles, these camp heads, the elders, okay, the men that are above you, and their only goal is to make you better. Their only goal is to get you to the finish line. So yeah, you may get some discomfort. That discomfort may come from above, but it's only a catalyst to change you, to improve you. It says, verse 13, it says, till we all come into the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of the Most High, to a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Hamashiach. Right? So I want to get this in the NOT because this is stated beautifully. Okay? It says, verse 11, it says, now these are the gifts that Hamashiach gave unto the church: the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the pastors, the teachers. Their responsibility is to equip God's people, the Most High's people, to do His work and to build up the church, the body of Hamashiach. Right. So, like I said, you have these top figures, the Apostle Tahars and the Apostle Raimlab, the Apostle Gabar, Apostle forgive me, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of going through it right now. But you have all these apostle Ricard, okay? All these apostles, you have the camp heads, you have the the uh the elders, right? And their job, their goal is to build up the church, okay? And that every man is a capable man, okay, and Lord's will, an acceptable man in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. I says, this will continue until we all come to such unity in our faith and knowledge of the Most High Son that we will be mature in the Lord. So from a babe up, all right, so that we can reach the level of maturity, okay, and be deemed worthy in the end. Because that's all that matters at the end of the day. Us being nurtured, us growing into men of the Lord to be deemed worthy and acceptable. All right. It says, measuring up to the full and complete standard of Hamashiach. There's a standard. So you can't always be down here. If you're content or comfortable with being down here and you don't want to raise up to the standard, then why are we even here? Why are we doing this? Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. All right. And discomfort is gonna cause your growth. It will be the catalyst for your growth. Hey, Lord's will, this was edifying, and I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakar. Double honors to the apostles, to the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, all the men, the women, and the children. A Shalom.